What's up? I hope everybody's having a good Christmas break or, whatever you got going on during the Christmas time. I hope it's going well. For me personally, Christmas is my favorite holiday just because of the joy I used to feel as a kid. And also just it's usually the time of year most people are like the happiest, if I'm being real. And as they should be. It's a time of giving. It's a time of love, really. It's love. And that's really just what I want to talk about for a little bit. Love is the most beautiful thing to me. It's everything, really. I believe it's one of, if not the most important things in life. And to feel loved is just it's beautiful. And to love somebody else is even more, beautiful. And I believe everybody should and hopefully will get that someday. And yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm learning now that I should be praying to learn how to love rather than to be loved because if I'm being honest, I don't really know how to love as much as I thought I did. And I'm learning as the days go on and on. I'm learning it's more than just giving something to somebody. It's more than just giving somebody attention. It's more than just talking with somebody daily. Like, that's not love for real. Love is like accepting somebody for who they are. It's accepting their worst days along with their best days. It's accepting that they're not perfect. It's accepting the I guess worst parts of somebody, even though nobody's perfect. All of us have those parts of us that we try to hide or that may scare people or you may think scare people, but in reality, you just got to accept that you're not perfect. You got to accept that the next man, next woman is not perfect either, you know? And I feel like once you can do that with somebody, once you could take somebody for who they actually are, that's love. That's love. 1 Corinthians 13:4 says, love is patient and kind. It's not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It's not irritable, and it keeps no record of being wrong. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up. Love never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. If I'm being transparent and reflecting truly, reading this makes me feel a certain type of way, and not because I don't agree with it. I wholeheartedly agree with it, but because I realize I haven't followed what the Bible says love is in certain aspects of my life. And yeah, it makes you feel some type of way, like, dang, like, what am I doing? And I'm not just talking about relationships, but yes, I was saying a relationship, I haven't been the most patient person. I haven't been the most kind person, and that's not intentional. I'm not saying I was ever going behind my relationship just being intentionally rude to my girl or whatever for no reason. But, you might make a couple jokes here or there. Some people say rage baiting. I mean, it's not that I was trying to make her fill her with rage, but, if we being honest, you like to poke the bear a little bit, play with your girl a little bit. But that's not the best thing to do. That's not kind. And also, I'll say I wasn't patient sometimes. And that's just straightforward. Like, there's some days where she might have been really frustrated, really upset, and rather than being as patient, I might have got frustrated or upset because she was frustrated. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just stuff like that. It makes you self-reflect. And it's not just relationships. It also makes me think of family. Like, I have an older sister, and growing up, oh my gosh, I used to argue with her all the time. Lord knows I loved her, and even today I love her even more. My love has only grown for her as I've gotten older and understand her more. But yeah, definitely was not the most kind to her, and that was intentional. And I hate saying it, but it's honest. Um, Jealous, proud, boastful, rude. That's all these things. Like, it's human nature to want stuff. It's human nature to get jealous at times. We get jealous, and it's not okay, but it's human. We get jealous at things. Your friend might get a new car. Your friend might get a new place to stay. Your friend might get this job, that job, and inherently you're like, dang, I want that. Like, dang. And at the end of the day, hopefully, if it's really your friend, you're like, dang, you're proud of them. But then it's like, but I want that too. And I'm learning that that's not that thought process is not like, it's not inherently bad to want better for yourself, by no means it's not inherently bad to want better for yourself. But when you start comparing and start saying, well, I should have this or I should have that, nah, man, that's not the way to go. And that, yeah, you just shouldn't. This also, what also stood out with me in this scripture was love never gives up, it never loses hope, it's always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. And yes, of course, immediately you think relationships, and that doesn't mean you should just sit in a relationship if it's just not favoring you for the moment. If you shouldn't just sit in it if it's, I don't want to say toxic, but maybe it'll be toxic. You know, you shouldn't just sit in things that are not favoring you for the moment. And I don't mean that in a selfish way. I mean, literally, you need to work on yourself. Because ultimately, you cannot love somebody else until you love yourself. And I've also learned that too. I've learned that through myself, and I've learned that through other people. They can't love you for real if they don't love themselves. You hear about how people, you have a friend that will just talk down on themselves, like, oh, I'm stupid, I'm this, I'm that. And you're just sitting there like, what are you talking about? Or you know somebody in your life like that, or you yourself might be like that. And I'm not judging you by no means, because of course I used to be the same way. I used to be like, dang, I'm dumb, dang, I suck at this. When I wasn't in a position or in a place I wanted to be. And I'm realized that's not self-love, you know? Okay, I just had to take a quick intermission. I just got back from the gym, out the shower and all that stuff. So I'm a little tired, but I'm gonna wrap up. But I wanted to emphasize the self-love piece that I was just trying to hark on. And I was just trying to talk about. And I just wanted to say self-love is extremely important. If anything I've learned in the past few months, yeah, like I said, self-love is just extremely important. You can't love nobody else. You can't truly love anybody else until you love yourself. You know, you could say you love somebody else, but you'll end up doing things to them unintentionally. You'll end up hurting them in ways that you didn't know because you didn't heal some wounds from the past. You don't love yourself. You know, if you can't respect yourself, how are you going to respect somebody else? You do things unintentionally and be like, oh, I didn't think it was that serious. Or I was talking to you that way because I let people talk to me that way. Or I was talking down on you because I talk about myself like that. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you can't love nobody else. You can't show love to anybody else until you love yourself. And yes, I can speak for myself in this way. For a while, I didn't love myself for a while. And I had to grow and learn to love myself. And I've seen that in other people. And other people in my life, it's like I can tell they didn't love themselves. So they treated me a certain way. And I'm not bashing them in any way, shape, or form. It's just a realization, like, oh, it's not even that. You know, some cases it's not even that you really want to hurt me. It's just you don't see a problem with it because that's how you feel about yourself. And that's not okay, but it's the reality of it. And it's like I said, it's extremely unfortunate, and it's a hard truth to learn. It's something hard to realize, or not hard to realize, but something hard to accept. Because you could say you love somebody, somebody could say they love you, but they don't even love themselves. So it's just not true. And real love is unconditional, you know, like Jesus' love for us. If you know anything about Jesus, which I'm assuming you do, and if you don't, that's okay. Jesus' love for you is unconditional. Like I was saying before, unconditional love is somebody not just loving you when they're happy, not just loving you when you're doing something for them, not just loving you when you are at your best. Unconditional love is somebody loving you when you're at your worst, somebody loving you even when you don't feel like talking, when you can't talk, when you're beat up, when you're tired, when you're sick. You know, unconditional love is that. Unconditional love is somebody reaching out that hand even when they're hurting themselves, them still trying to help you. And this is not just for relationships. This is for anyone from your friend to that homeless man out on the corner. Like, unconditional love can be shown in any type of way. I just feel like it's emphasized more in relationships because that's at the face of love. I feel like nowadays people only see love as relationships. Yeah, your mom, your siblings, your dad, you know, but relationships really are at the forefront of what love is, and that's not always the case. Love is patient, so don't rush it, because it might be worth it if you don't rush it. And I'm in a period in my life where I don't have to be patient, but I'm choosing to be patient rather than trying to jump into something and ultimately hurt myself, you know? If I'm being vulnerable, yeah, I just got out of a relationship. I got broken up with, you know, it happens. But, and I'm not saying like I know for sure what God's plan is in the future. I pray and I'm hopeful that some things happen, but you never know. And I'm not saying I want a specific thing to happen. I'm not saying I don't want a specific thing to happen. But what I'm gonna say is I trust God, and that's all you can do, you know. True love, just like faith, often involves waiting and trusting in God's timing. I've learned I have to wait and trust in God's timing, whatever that is. I hope and pray that God is out there molding my future wife into the woman, God-fearing woman that she has to be, as much as I hope he's molding me into be a better husband, so I can truly know how to love somebody, so I can truly know how to love my wife and eventually my kids. You know, but I first have to truly know how to love myself. So God's molding me, love myself, treat my body right, treat my mind right, treat my spirit right. You know, all those things which I wasn't doing before. Sure, I was going to the gym. Sure, I was playing sports. Sure, I was staying fit or whatever. But I was neglecting my mind. I was neglecting my spirit. I wasn't talking to God as much as I should have. I was putting my problems and insecurities on man when I really should have been giving them to God. And that would have ultimately led me to loving myself, understanding myself. And I understand myself and love myself, I can truly understand and love the next person. Whether that's my girl, whether that's my wife, whether that's my kids, whether that's my best friend, whether that's the dude that doesn't like me for whatever reason. Or this dude that's always trying to fight me, I still understand people and extend a helping hand, a loving hand. And I feel like that's really important. And being patient with people and being patient with life is another thing I'm starting to learn. Just being patient with people. As much as I want people to be patient with me, I just have to be patient with people. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect on this world. Nobody's perfect. And I have to give people that grace. Just I have to give myself that grace, but I have to give other people that grace too. And that's not something I was doing before. But that's something I'm trying to learn to extend to do. And I'm getting better at it for sure. But yeah. And I want to finish real quick with my last scripture. And there's so many scriptures I could have picked in this video of love, because there's so many beautiful scriptures in the Bible about love, telling you how to love, telling you what love is. But I want to finish with this last one. And it says, don't just pretend to love others. Really love them. Hate what is wrong. Hold tightly to what is good. And that's Romans 12:9. And that stood out to me, especially because it's easy to pretend. It's easy to pretend everything in our ways of life. It's so easy to pretend. But love is something that you really shouldn't, because you're just hurting. You're just hurting if you're pretending. You're just hurting. And everybody's really pretending until they truly learn how to love. Once you learn how to love yourself, you can learn how to love everybody else. So don't pretend. Don't pretend to love the next person, you know? And I'm trying myself not to be a faker, not to pretend to love, because I really want to love. I want to be that light. I want to be that love. When people see me, I want to be that love. I want to be that love to even the people in my life now, as much as I want to be it to the people in my future. I want to be that love, and you should want to be that love too, because ultimately, you're just uplifting people. You're uplifting yourself, and you're uplifting those around you. It doesn't hurt to show love, but you must first learn how to love, and everything will be great. Everything will be beautiful. I'm a firm believer that life for me is going to be beautiful. And I believe that it'll be beautiful for everybody else that truly learns how to love. Doesn't try to distract themselves. Doesn't try to ignore things, ignore people, but truly wants to work on themselves. Truly does what they say they're going to do. Work on themselves and learn how to love. Because that's the stage I'm at right now. Working on myself and learning how to love, so I can hold tightly to what is good. And I promise you I will, Lord, hold tightly to what is good. Until then, thank you. Thank you for watching.